Reading a book is an investment of your time, and so I wanted to share some Audible books that I've been really enjoying. Hello and welcome back to my channel. I've been really into Audible lately. I have an Audible membership, so each month I get 1 credit. My 2 big goals in life right now is to be financially well off, and the second thing that I'm really focused on is my relationship with men, with dating. So I've been reading a lot of books on it, and specifically listening to a lot of audibles to help me on these 2 topics. And so I wanted to share some Audible books that I've been really enjoying. I think it's really helpful to hear other people's recommendations of books that they've read, because reading a book is an investment of your time. Like, one of the books I read was 12 hours long. So you want to make sure when you are purchasing a book that it's worth your while. Youre the Guru by Gabrielle Bernstein is really, really good. It's really spiritual, but it's also very inspiring and uplifting, and just a really beautiful book to read if you feel alone or if you feel a little lost. This book is really wonderful to help you feel connected with someone. Gabrielle Bernstein is such an amazing person, an amazing soul, and when reading this book I just felt less alone. And it didn't matter like what my spirituality was, it doesn't matter what I believe in, it's more of like how the book made me feel and what I got from it. And I felt like I got so much wisdom, and I got a different way of looking at life and looking at challenges in my life specifically, and I just thought it was really, really valuable and really, really nice to listen to. So the next book is The 5 Love Languages. I truly think everyone should listen to this book because it will help you understand how you receive love and how other people receive love, and it just helps you in relationships altogether because it gives you a lot of insight of why people act a certain way and why you act a certain way. And it's cool to understand what your love language is, and if you're in a relationship or if you have relationships in your life, you can look at these relationships and be like, oh, you know, I think this is what their love language is, or you can ask the person what their love language is, and it can improve the relationships you have in your life, whether it be romantic, whatever it is. So yeah, The 5 Love Languages was really, really educational and helpful, and it's something I've never heard about before, like love languages. I had no idea. So it was a great introduction, and it was really helpful, and I'm single, so I still enjoyed the book, and I still found it very valuable because it helps me understand when going into relationships what to think about and what to look for and how to have successful relationships. So it's very good. The next book that I loved is You're a Badass at Making Money by Jen Sincero. This book is so good. It was inspiring, it was uplifting, it was funny, it was more of an enjoyable learning experience. Jen Sincero had such a beautiful personality, so it made reading this book so much more enjoyable and fun, but it was still a really valuable experience because I learned a lot about my relationship with money, and it really broke down a lot of old beliefs that I had and helped me believe in new things that help me now with my relationship with money. It was inspiring, it was educational, and it was also really fun to listen to. It's definitely an easier read, but it's also very educational and valuable, so I definitely recommend that. Next book that I have not finished but I really enjoy thus far is Untamed by Glennon Doyle. This is a really beautiful, beautiful book. It really talks about accepting and loving who you are, which is all that I teach. I am very big on that, and it really empowers you and offers you a beautiful learning opportunity to embrace and accept what's true about you. She talks about her experience with coming out, and she talks about her experience with being in a marriage with a man and then ending that marriage to be in a relationship with a woman, and she talks about what that's like, and it's just such a beautiful, beautiful, empowering book, and she really creates space for you to accept who you truly are and to feel empowered by who you truly are, and gives you so much courage. So yeah, definitely recommend that. Money and the Law of Attraction by Esther Hicks and Jerry Hicks. So this is definitely very spiritual. It's definitely going to make you uncomfortable if you are not a spiritual person. Just be cautious of that. If you're really against spirituality, it probably won't click for you. You probably will get really annoyed by it. But it's a really valuable book. It makes you think. And you may not accept everything that you read in this book because it's hard to accept, and it's hard to understand at first, or hard to embrace everything. Some things don't click, and that's okay. I take what works for me and take what resonates with me, and I leave the rest. And that's how I manage reading those types of books. But I really enjoyed the book, and it was really, really interesting to read, and I read it so quickly because I really enjoyed it. And then the next book that I read, and it took me a long time to read because it's very educational plot. And I guess like the way that it was read, it was very educational, called Burnout by Emily Nagoski and Amelia Nagoski. I finished the whole thing, and I found it extremely, extremely valuable for women and our experience as women compared to men, and it just allows you to learn more about yourself and to learn more about things that are kind of unconsciously ingrained in you that you may not be aware of. And I found it very, very insightful and helpful to understand myself as a woman, and it kind of made space for me to slow down and to really think. It was very educational and very, very helpful to read as a woman. Definitely recommend that. And then the next book that I just finished is called Come As You Are, and this is a book all about sex and your relationship with sex. And as I was saying, my big goal is to have a healthy relationship, and a part of relationships is sex. And so I really wanted to read this and to understand my relationship with sex. For me, I mean, I feel like this is a whole nother video to talk about sex, but for me, my relationship with sex has been a little bit toxic and a little bit difficult. And I really wanted to learn more about it and learn more about my relationship with sex and how I view sex and what it means to me and how it makes me feel. And this book was so beautiful. So beautiful. It's a very long book. It's 12 hours. So it took me a long time to finish. But as I got into it, I was just able to finish it in like a few days. Like I finished it last week in a few days. And it was so good. It was so good. It just makes you understand yourself more, and it also gives you space to embrace and accept who you truly are, free from judgment. And it's definitely more geared towards women, but I think every single person needs to read this book, honestly. There's not many books on sex out there, and this is just done so well, and it's so beautiful, and it's so educational, inspiring, empowering, all the good stuff. Definitely recommend it. And then the next book I just started is called Attached by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. It's going to teach me a lot about my attachment style and how that affects my relationships. It's perfect. I love it already. Every single person has an attachment style, and if you find yourself struggling in relationships or having a hard time in relationships or feeling anxious in relationships or feeling, I don't know, scared of relationships, then this book is going to help you so much. It's already helping me, and I've only just started it. Those are all the books that I have on my Audible library that I've either read or have started reading that I love, and I feel like I'm really good at finding good books, and so I wanted to share this with you if you're looking for a good book. And let me know what your favorite book is. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.